everyone, Bianca here for Media Makeup. I'm here to show you how to do a foundation application, okay, a real decent one. So first I'm going to use the NC42 Liquid Mineralize product, okay. Let's have a look. There we go. Cool. So you take the product, turn it. I'm going to use 2 pumps to start off with, simply because you can always add more product. Now I'm not going to use any brushes at this stage because I find that the brushes absorb too much of the product. So there we have our foundation. I always like to take it up a couple of shades darker than my skin, but that's just how I like to look. So what I'm doing is I'm using my fingertips starting from the forehead, and I keep dabbing it on, okay, and we're just literally rubbing it into the skin, and I am making sure that the product is going downward with the vellus hairs of my face, okay. Those are those tiny little hairs that you see on your face, and down the nose, around the nostrils. Stretch that lip out, get that product into those lips, okay. These are the little tricks that are going to keep your makeup on all night or all day, okay. Another dot and a small dot over the top of our eyelids, up to the eyelash area. Be gentle around this area. Try to go around the lashes and around the eyebrows, because you're only going to have to remove product from them, from those areas afterwards, which is a waste of more product and a waste of time. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that so far. Push that chin out if you have any dimples, okay, and use the last of the product down the neckline. It's really important that you put it on the neckline so that it's all blended in. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my stipple brush. Okay, it's got little short hairs and it's got long hairs, and get the product off the skin. You can see it'll start changing colour in a minute, and let's go round and round and round and buff that product into the skin. Okay, because I want to see my skin underneath. I don't want it to be a mask. I've got lovely skin. I just want the tone to be blended out a little bit more. Okay, over the top of the ears if you're filming or getting photographed, and down that neckline. Okay, and you know, you will start kind of looking like a bit of a blank canvas. Now what I also want to do, I want to do a little bit of concealing. So I've got a Jane Iredale camouflage brush, and I'm also using quite a thick MAC NC30 concealer. It's quite light, and I've got a thin Lizzy concealer, and that one's in a Enchanted Rose, which is quite light. Now what I'm going to do, this brush is quite flat, okay, so if you compare it to our stipple brush, there's a big difference in the sizes of them. Now I just get my camouflage brush, put the product on both sides, and I want to go into this eye area. Okay, this is called the eye socket area, and you can see that because that's where the bone structure is. Okay, so these areas on some ladies can be quite dark. Okay, let's take it upwards as well. I do enjoy using eyeshadow primers, but I also think that sometimes a concealer can do the job. It doesn't have that sort of velvety texture to it, so it doesn't replace it, but you know, sometimes if you're in a hurry it can work just as well. And it just gives your eyeshadow a really nice clean palette to work off. Okay, so we make sure that that is all nicely blended. Now one thing you may not have noticed I'm doing, I'm actually blending this really gently into these areas. Okay, now a little bit more product. Let's go over the eyebrows. We're creating high points and low points here. This is advanced. And also, I'm turning my brush not that way, depending on the size of your nose, to be fair. If you've got a bigger nose, then you can go down like that. But with my one, I just need to go on the side and do a bit of a line. Now, the other thing that you need to be aware of is so that's going to lengthen your nose. If you want to, if your nose is too long and you want to shorten it, then put some dark product underneath the nose. Now, we're also going to go over the top of this area and around the lips. It highlights it, but it also stops it from bleeding. Okay, and a little bit on that chin. Now I've got a scar here, so I just need to get a bit of that product in there. Okay, that's easy. So we do what I call the Cabbage Patch Doll. Line there, and blend it. Okay, the other thing that we might be able to do is just get a little bit of that redness out in there, and a little bit of redness there. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So the next thing I'm going to do, going to get my powder brush. So that was my stipple brush. This is a big fat powder brush, and I'm going to be using my favourite Latte from the Jane Iredale range of mineral cosmetics. We put the product all over the brush and rub it into the skin. Now, I'm a great believer in mineral products. They're literally made from the minerals of the earth. They don't contain any talcum powder. There is a lot of products on the market that say that they're mineral, but they do contain talc, which is a filler. Now, the difference with talc, it actually sinks into your pores, and that's what gives you acne and skin problems and blocks everything up. Okay, over the lips. And a mineral makeup actually reflects the light, makes you look younger, and you can actually wear it to bed and it won't ruin your skin. Now, I like to use a bit of a smaller brush. It's a little bit fluffy, but I like these brushes just to work into the smaller areas and make sure that all that product is pressed in nicely. Press, 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 press. Not, you know, dragging it across, but pressing. Right, and there we have it. That is one full foundation makeup application. If you have any questions, go to my website, www.mediamakeup1.com. Feel free to send me an email and ask me any questions you want and any replies that you have. Ka kite anō.